When we remember a time, we remember moments. A kaleidoscope of the sights, the sounds, the emotions that remind us of the way we were. Our world. It's about time. Here are Linda Ellerbee and Ray Gandolf.
For the next hour, think of your television set as a time machine.
Tonight we're skipping back over a couple of wars to a season between World War II and Korea. That was pretty good. And as one of the hit songs put it, maybe you'll be there.
Welcome to our world. It's the autumn of 1948. It will be filled with secrets and surprises. Under secrets, look for songs, sex, and the Soviet Union. Under surprises, look for television, Truman, and the Soviet Union. But let's start here at home.
In the fall of 1948, we were not only churning out a pile of goods as big as the Great Pyramid of Egypt every hour, but we were helping to rebuild Europe under the Marshall Plan. We were prosperous and innocent.
In 1948, every sow's ear seems a silk purse. Detroit gives us its first totally new designs in 6 years. No more walking, no more riding. In 1948, we're ready to race.
Or in automobiles, Futuramic design means styling with a purpose. There's no gear shift, no clutch pushing. Just step on the gas and go.
The only direction is up. A Chevy convertible costs $1,750. If you don't buy it today, buy it tomorrow. Don't we deserve the best of everything? Retail sales are higher than they've been since 1929. The war is over, the sale is on. The more modern, the better.
If you're in a rush to know what's de rigueur in fur for fall, how's about this leopard skin ensemble? Sweater, umbrella, and spiffy spats. Just the thing for a rainy day.
East is east and west is west, and the wrong one I have chose. Let's go where I'll keep on wearing those frills and flowers and buttons and bows, rings and things and buttons and bows.
Things aren't all we're making in record numbers.
It's magic.
Something is going on, but we keep telling ourselves good girls don't.
A mystic charm.
Doris Day, in her first movie, sets the good girl pattern.
When I am in your arms.
Rita Hayworth does the same for bad girls in the extravaganza, The Loves of Carmen.
Where are you going, little soldier? Because wherever it is, I'm going with you.
Once you're kissed by Amy.
We're told that after you marry, something happens, mysteriously. Mysteriously, that is, to good girls.
Ply her with bonbons.
Bad girls are supposed to know what happens. That's why they're bad.
A million hours.
Miss America is good. Mrs. America is a woman.
When I was a Miss, there was nothing cooking. Now that I'm Mrs. America, I'm really cooking.
Anthony and Patricia Pizzo, a young married couple in Chicago.
Girls were not supposed to do anything, or supposed to know anything, or supposed to think at all.
Boys weren't supposed to do much either in that day and age.
Oh,
I don't
really?
think why you keep saying that girls had an exclusive right to chastity and virginity.
Training films reinforce our fairy tales.
The end of a perfect evening. How do you say goodnight?
Don't, please.
What is?
One night, the Pizzos hear a talk by a biologist named Alfred C. Kinsey. He wants to study what has not been studied, human sexual behavior. He asks for volunteers. Both Pizzos sign up.
It was unusual, but he was very convincing, and he was obviously so sincere and so involved in his project that you felt that you would be remiss if you didn't follow through and help him. It seems kind of funny looking back, because I really didn't have very much to tell, but it was just discussing it was very embarrassing.
We were given a card, and he were asked to measure our genitalia. And I suppose this was to determine whether this had, in fact, any kind of effect on your sexual experiences. That seemed a little bit bizarre to me at the time.
Bizarre or not, Kinsey and his colleagues ultimately get 12,000 Americans to talk, finally, about sex. John Dussault, managing editor at the company that publishes the Kinsey Report.
It tells very lucidly that the mores of sexual behavior in the United States are far different from what they are supposed to be. That the difference between public myth and private reality is indeed a great one. A curtain, in fact, which I guess some would say he tore asunder.
What the report reveals is that more people are engaging in more sex than anyone dreams. Nice girls, it turns out, do.
The immediate sale of the book was altogether astonishing to everyone. Well, everyone perhaps but Dr. Kinsey.
In the fall of 1948, we have put World War II out of mind, tried to forget it. Veterans march only in parades now. The war is nostalgia. Then a young veteran named Norman Mailer writes a novel called The Naked and the Dead. Its message isn't new. Sherman said it first, war is hell. But Mailer says it better, in words as blunt and effective as a rifle butt to the jaw. Actor Martin Sheen.
Hennessy squatted in his hole and watched the jungle. His mouth was dry and he kept wetting his lips. Every time there seemed to be a movement in the bushes, his heart constricted. The beach was very quiet. A minute went by and he began to get bored. He could hear a truck grinding its gears down the beach, and when he took a chance and turned around, he could see another wave of landing craft coming in about a mile from shore. Reinforcements for us, he told himself, and realized it was absurd. The harsh, slapping sound came out of the jungle and was followed by another discharge and another and another. That's the mortars, he thought, and decided he was catching on fast. And then he heard a screaming, piercing sound almost overhead, like the tearing squeals of a car braking to avert a crash. Instinctively, he curled flat in his hole. The next instants were lost to him. He heard an awful exploding sound which seemed to fill every corner of his mind, and the earth shook and quivered underneath him in the hole. Numbly, he felt dirt flying over him and his body being pounded by some blast. The explosion came again, and the dirt, and the shock, and then another and another blast. He found himself sobbing in the hole, terrified and resentful. When another mortar landed, he screamed out like a child, "That's enough! That's enough!" He lay there trembling for almost a minute after the shells had stopped. His thighs felt hot and wet, and at first he thought, "I'm wounded." It was pleasant and peaceful, and he had a misty picture of a hospital bed. He moved his hand back and realized with both revulsion and mirth that he had emptied his bowels.
The Naked and the Dead angered some veterans, but it reminded us all that even a, quote, good war, undertaken for the most noble of motives, debases the human spirit. In our own homes that season, we could have our spirits debased or elevated or bored by a little square box. Come back to the fall of '48 and the dawn of television.
Our World continues in a moment.
If you've been looking for a European sports coupe with anti-lock brakes, superb styling outside, luxurious leather inside, with enough power to do over 130 miles per hour, maybe you'd better look again. The new Acura Legend Coupe, Motor Trend's import car of the year, exclusively at your Acura dealer.
Max Factor's genius made Rita Hayworth glamorous right down to her fingertips. Today, Max Factor's brilliance touches our fingertips with an exclusive nail enamel formula with silicryl. No other nail enamel shines brighter or lasts longer. With Max Factor, the glamour goes on. For stronger, prettier nails, start with new Second Nail. It strengthens nails to grow longer on their own. Thanks, Max.
When information is in the hands of just a few, you're at their mercy. You play by their rules. But we think people should be in control, not machines. So at AT&T, we're working to combine computers and communications so you can get the right information to the right people at the right time. As easy as using the telephone. AT&T, the right choice.
Chardonnay, Zinfandel, Johannesburg Riesling, Sauvignon Blanc, Cabernet Sauvignon, the vintage-dated varietal wines of Ernest and Julio Gallo, among the most respected in America, among the most respected in the world. Today's Gallo, all the best a wine can be.
Saturday, the action begins as top women golfers tee off at the McDonald's Championship live, followed by a daring rock climb attempt on an early ABC's Wide World of Sports. Then Triple Crown challenger Ali Shiva's final test, the Belmont Stakes live, all Saturday on ABC.
Welcome back to the autumn of 1948. Columbia Records has marketed the new vinyl long-playing phonograph record. It won't warp, won't break, well, not easily, and turns at 33 1/3 revolutions per minute instead of the old 78. Now you can hear entire movements of symphonies uninterrupted without changing records or waiting for the next one to plop down. And of course, you don't have to watch it to be entertained the way you have to watch that other new gadget, television. You don't have to watch the radio either. But millions of us do gather around it every night and stare so as not to miss a word.
The American Broadcasting Company presents the Candid Microphone.
And now to the editorial room of the Jurgens Journal and Walter Winchell.
Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. North and South America and all the ships at sea. Let's go to press.
This is your host bidding you enter the inner sanctum.
The Johnson's Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly.
I wouldn't know where to look for it, dearie.
Oh, I know where it is. It's right here in the hall closet.
Oh, no.
I got to straighten out that closet one of these days.
Oh.
Consolidated sardines are packed twice as tight, so each consolidated can't be consolidated. Treat your stomach right.
Experience of modern girls is superficial and insufficient to protect them against blandishments.
How could you deceive me like this? Doesn't our marriage mean anything to you?
It's hard for me to say this, Irene, but Eleanor and I love each other.
Don't talk to me about love, you vampire.
Irene.
Radio speaks and we listen to Benny, to Murrow, to Hope, to Fred Allen.
Tell me, Moody, what are your feelings about the radio?
I don't hold with it, Bub.
Displeases you?
I don't hold with furniture that talks.
Yeah.
Comedy is as familiar and comforting as a mother's kiss. The big new craze is a telephone giveaway show starring Bert Parks.
Stop the music! Hello, America! This is Bert Parks.
We went on the air, and 3 Sunday nights after we went on the air, Fred Allen dropped from number 2 to like number 30. And Stop the Music became number 2.
Comedian Henry Morgan is baffled.
In '48, it was a shock to find that a program could go on the air and offer a complete stranger an amount of money, and that people would listen to the program to hear some stranger win an amount of money.
On the Fred Allen Show, Morgan spoofs Stop the Music.
Here we go with Cease the Melody. Our first number is...
That very same night, you won't believe it, we gave away one of the most unbelievable jackpots of all time.
In Indiana, Kenneth and Gene Crosby were big fans.
Stop the music. It was just a ritual every Sunday night.
I remember there was like second call, somewhere in Indiana, and a man answered the phone. His name was Crosby. And I said, we'll play the mystery tune, and if you think you know the answer, let me know, and we will give you the jackpot, which is worth $30,000.
I repeated very carefully, because you had to have every letter right. Turkeys in the tree top.
I said, you said it was turkey in the treetop? Excuse me, would you mind saying again? Turkey in the treetop?
Bert Parks yelled, he says,
"You're right!" And they won. Pandemonium.
It was the highest jackpot that had ever been won on Stop the Music at that time.
It's a most unusual day. Feel like throwing my worries away.
We were just shocked, and it really excited everybody. Well, I wanted Hudson, 1949, Hudson. My husband got a $1,000 wardrobe. Then I got the Westinghouse laundromat with the dryer and the washer, and we won a television set at that time, too, Philco, combination radio and record player. But the television at that time, we didn't have television in Bluffton.
Bluffton? No one in any part of Indiana has television, which makes Indiana like most of America. In fall 1948, 22 cities have TV stations. The combined audience is less than 500,000, and less than 10% of us have ever seen a TV program. We know that because with the first set came the first rating system. And at first, a feeling that this box is magic.
Rain falls, rinse those rain.
Earl Madman Muntz, the self-styled king of the car salesman, is so taken by television, he begins making and selling his own models.
Ma or Pa wouldn't believe we could take a set and install it in their home and it would work there. They thoroughly believed in television. They believed it would work as long as they could stand in front of a store and watch, but they couldn't really visualize that that thing was going to work in their living room.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Ward Paul is in Chicago, helping to put WGN-TV on the air.
There were no textbooks on it. There were no teachers. We were each feeling our own way, and you had to do everything.
Dennis James is one of TV's first stars. He introduces Americans to TV wrestling.
Well, I'd never seen wrestling even, so I bought a little book, and I'm at ringside, and I'm thumbing through the pages. That's how I learned the holds. Then I said to myself, this is silly. If I try to play this thing straight, I'm dead. So I tried to create different ideas to get some comedy.
Which way would I go? Ref. Hey, ref. Hammerlock.
Flip through the ring, I'd use the slide whistle like this. Right? And then, of course, one of the most exciting things was when they would break a bone, turn your wrist this way, they would be out like close-up of that, but maybe a step over toe hold, and I had a crackle bone that went. Well, the combination of seeing that and hearing this, that caused about 10,000 pieces of mail to come in, and there weren't much more than 10,000 people looking at it at the time.
But in 1 year, 1948, the audience jumps 4,000%. By November, there are 43 TV stations.
Manufacturers are making sets as fast as they can. 200 different models are available. And a new industry is creating itself as fledgling networks invent programs to fill the holes, to cover the black, as it were. By fall, most of the holes are filled in. And Tuesday night is the Saturday night of television.
Sky Tees. Fill up for Sky Tees, and you will smile at the pile of new...
Uncle Milty. Theaters and restaurants lose business as we buy television sets to see what all the noise is about. Here is what it is all about.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing America's #1 television star, who, like Lady Godiva, horses around every Tuesday night, Milton
They were making a change back behind me, and a big pipe fell and made such a noise. It went bang. And I looked around, I said, CBS just dropped another show. Well, those were ad libs, right? And I had to do that. And that's what made, I think, the spontaneity of those early days Texaco shows made the show what it was.
If the Burl show is the peak, how deep are our valleys? Hollywood warns its biggest stars away from TV, so the tube takes what it can get and invents the rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. Sit down.
See? Told you not to read the letter. You deliberately read it.
Well, I'm walking off the stage.
Why you want to leave me, Flat?
I'm getting sick of being pushed around by you.
Who's pushing
you? You are. You get a kick out of making a fool of me. I stand out there when you're singing numbers. When I come out here, you munch my hair, you dirty my clothes, you push me around, you ridicule me, you abuse me, and I'm serious. Why don't you leave me alone?
It's right to say that this was a time when television exploded into our consciousness, but it's important to remember that in the fall of 1948, the majority of Americans did not have TV. Therefore, when we thought of news, we still thought of newspapers and radio. And both were filled with stories of a nation taking extraordinary measures to feed the same people it recently had bombed. Come back to a tale of the surprise packages, the white chickens, and the candy bomber.
Come back to Secrets and Surprises in the fall of '48.
Whatever happened to real food? You know the kind that just tastes real good. Go on a dinner I can't pronounce. By the ounce. Whatever happened to real food? You know the kind that just tastes real good. Give me a steak and I won't be through. I got a taste for some real food.
Thief, real food for real people.
MasterCard salutes the historic flight of Voyager. Back on Earth, pilots Dick Rutan and Gina Yeager are on the move, and they've never needed MasterCard more. They fly with it, drive with it, even guarantee hotel reservations with it, and of course, celebrate.
Cheers.
To the possibilities.
With MasterCard. For people who go the distance. MasterCard. Master the possibilities.
After work at the Silver Bullet.
She ain't coming. She'll be here. We just take it easy. She ain't coming.
Relax. Have a Coors Light. She's just a little late.
Well, she ain't coming.
Look, what time did you tell her to meet you?
8.
8. So she's an hour late. No big deal. You know, Friday night traffic.
Friday night? Oh, man, I told her Thursday night.
She ain't coming.
There's no slowing down with the Silver Bullet tonight.
Listerine wants to send you on the ultimate treasure hunt.
Treasure?
4 couples will search an exotic island for a $100,000 hidden treasure. Oh, you won't be needing that. Look for clues to Listerine's treasure in June 14th newspapers or local stores.
Oh, no. I haven't packed a thing.
Poison ivy, insect bites. You can count on Caladril for relief. In fact, Caladril can help stop almost any itch, as long as you can reach it.
Of all leading brands, only Caladril contains Benadryl, the most recommended topical antihistamine for itch.
In a moment, our world continues with Secrets and Surprises in the fall of '48.
Alex lived such a short time.
Why does God hate me?
She wanted us to start up again.
The only hero ever was Alex.
Alex, the life of a child, Sunday.